Hey, it's Miss Lady T. I should have got on here this morning and told you about the stuff I seen. I mean, Spirit is really working. I mean, really working, yo. I mean, I've never witnessed this before. There's a couple things that happened last night. I tell you, I'll wait to okay. I'll say the major one for the last thing I'll say. This won't be long, but I noticed last night. I went out for a smoke break, and we had like 3 new people start last night. So it was great because we had help. We got stuff done. We got out at normal time. It was great, And I had to train people, and it was cool. And I take my training seriously. It used to make me nervous. Um, but you got to teach. You can't let the blind lead the blind. And that's how I'll start that out. You got to teach people. It's like a fresh canvas, and any bad habits that are instilled in the first few days that you train somebody, those are going to be there, and they got to learn stuff on their own. Person I was training, real good, real cool. Something got to do with the letter Z. I'm not sure. I haven't pieced this together yet. But the people's names, they all started with Z's, and they was telling about their brother. Z starts with the Z. Very unusual. I haven't figured that out yet, but if you have any ideas, drop your ideas in the comments below. I haven't figured it out yet. I mean, really, life is really just a giant mystery. It's a giant mystery for you to figure out your calling, figure out what you're here to do. As always, I pray for discernment for my talk, and I used to when I get around people, I want to make them laugh. And you can make people laugh and make people happy without being dirty or being nasty or dropping to levels that you don't need to be dropping to. But went out on break, and since it's gotten warmer, a lot of people go out more on break. And there's like this little ledge that I was sitting on last night. And it was the wildest thing. It was just weird. It was something that, it takes me back to the Bible and how Jesus would sit around and teach, like the disciples, right? Like the followers or whatever. And I'm not saying these are people who are followers or anything like that. It was just the way the dynamic was that we was all sitting at. So, and it's third shift. You want to sit down sometimes when you get tired and stuff. And I used to not sit down on break, but instead of pulling out, we have like chairs out there like for sale, for the summer and stuff. And people will pull out a chair and sit down in it. But as I said before, I'm like the only one that goes out and smokes. A lot of people vape, but I'm the only one that goes out and smokes, which I need to cut down on that. But I went outside and sat on the ledge, and there's like 2 people out there, and a couple people walked off, and they was doing stuff, and they're, walked to their cars and stuff. And, and one of the neat people asked me for a cigarette, and she said, I'll never ask you again, can I borrow a cigarette? I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem. And I've had people do that to me before, and it don't bother me. I mean, as long as it's not like every day, and I don't care. Yeah, here's a cigarette, whatever. But I was sitting down, I went out on break, and I sat down, and I was on this ledge. And one person came out, as before, usually most of them, they like to eat on break, that thing. And no big deal. It's eating, just something it's observation. But I'm sitting here on this ledge, it's like a cement thing, it's like connected to one of the overhangs or whatever. And there's a ledge, just big enough for you to just sit on the edge of. U-Haul just went by. Somebody's moving. Goes by all the time. But I'm sitting there, a little wing, Nike swoosh. I'm sitting there smoking my cigarette, and I try to keep it away from people that don't smoke, because I'm not trying to offend people and get them secondhand and all that stuff. But I'm sitting there smoking. One person kind of sits right down on the ground in front of me. Indian style, eating their food. Another person comes out, sits next to them. So I got one here, one there, and then 2 new people come out, and they went to the car and sat for a minute, but they come up at break time, and they sat over here. But it was the weirdest thing how the dynamic, and I never realized this when I was out there smoking. It was almost like Jesus and I'm not trying to say I'm, portraying as Jesus or anything like that, but how Jesus would teach people, and the disciples, and people would gather around and sit around. And like I said, I need to use discernment with my tongue and stuff, because talks can get raunchy sometimes. People just talk and being silly, and especially when it gets later at night, it's just like, and it was at 3 o'clock break, so it was, people's tired, and they get in their own little own and being silly and stuff. But it was just the way they was all sitting around, and I'm sitting above on this ledge, and I got 4 people sitting around me, and it was just like, I never realized it before. Just like, this is when you shine your light. This is when you either rise above low vibrational conversation, or you speak better. You show them a way, just like training, like you're in training, Oh, I'm getting hot. Oh, I just figured something out. That's cool. Oh, I haven't got to this major thing yet this morning. Oh, I'm getting the warmth. Whew, spirit. Oh, I'm getting... What is that? Sorry. But you need to be a light. You know what I'm saying? Sorry. Anyway, I thought that was cool. And I do pray every day as far as spirit. Song Never Give Up. It's coming on. But I thought that was cool. And we laughed and cut up a little bit and stuff. But that was just one part of the night, and I was training this person and stuff. Good conversation. I think I done good, and it was cool. It's like you're training and people are looking up to you. That is so neat. I just realized that. That is cool. Wow. Anyway, good night. Wonderful night. Good night at work. I think the people that we was training did well. I trained one and somebody else trained another. Good people. And happy to have the help because we've lost a couple people, So it's just a revolving door. People go in, people come, people go out, Anyway, that was a cool thing. Sorry I got touched there for a minute. That's so cool. Anyway, I come home. Thank God for, watching over my house and watching over my cats. And I went outside and smoked a cigarette. Got my cats fed and stuff. And I was tired this morning, so I couldn't kind of wait to lay down, I was outside, and how ancestors and spirit will leave you signs. Dimes, paradigm. It's like changing somebody's thought of reality. I looked it up. I asked the AI earlier, or Gemini or whatever on my phone. I didn't quite understand it, but it's trying to it's changing somebody's perception of their reality. If I'm catching this right, and you can look it up and ask, AI, or look it up about a paradigm. I say this because when I went and see my mom the other day, my brother was showing me a dime, a fresh circulated dime that hasn't been in the system yet, and it's a new dime. It has a picture of a lady in the front of it, and like a freedom eagle on the back of it. Pretty cool. And he was showing me, and it was in the cardboard thing. He's like, "Oh, look at this coin I got." And he used to collects coins and stuff, and different things. And paradigm. It didn't hit me until just now, because this morning I found a dime on my floor where I do my laundry and change goes out your pants and stuff. And I found a dime on the floor, and I'm like, paradigm. First thing that came to my head. It was weird, but throw that in there. But this morning I'm standing out on the porch. There's my nose. And it happens when I get into spirit or start getting downloads, my nose will run. I don't know. Anyway, and I'll get that heat. Now the heat's coming back down. That's crazy. Like almost like a heat flash if you're an older woman. You know what I'm talking about. But this morning I'm standing outside, and ancestors will leave like feathers and stuff laying around to let you know, hey, they're watching you. You're being watched over. They're with you. That kind of thing. But I was looking up in the sky, and it was kind of cool this morning, but the clouds were just so neat this morning. And I know people are busy, but take time to look up. Take time to look up in that sky, because you don't know what you're going to see or what they're going to show you, right? So I'm looking up, and I'm looking over here to the right, and these clouds are like, I was charging my phone, 5:55 on the clock. I was charging my phone, so I didn't have my phone with me. And I think some things are just meant for you in spirit to see. I mean, I try to take my phone wherever I'm at. Confirmation. Some things are just meant for you in spirit to be a witness, not anybody else. And what I'm about to tell you is some crazy stuff. I mean, it's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. So I'm looking up in the sky, and the clouds are like wispy. They almost look like waves in an ocean. It was like wispy, and then there was like tufts of clouds, and there was like 2 or 3 different layers, wispy, and then tufts of cloud, like a wave, like an ocean wave. It was very neat how the clouds were laying this morning. A little breezy, not too bad. A little bit cool. And I'm kind of looking around, and sometimes I'll notice like the condensation lines. I've noticed sometimes there's X's, and that means your X. I take that as an X sign. That means your X is somewhere behind the scenes doing whatever. I don't know, whatever. But I wasn't noticing X's this morning. I noticed. I thought it was a condensation trail, but it was very short, and it looked like a feather. I looked over to the left, and there was like these things that looked like feathers. A couple little regular clouds, but then there's like a feather cloud. Wispy, long, looked like a feather. And just like spirit leaving a feather on the ground, or finding a feather in front of you, knowing that spirit's with you. The paradigm, spirit's with you, finding change. Anyway, I'm looking up in the sky, and the sun's coming up, and it's about 7:15 this morning, 7:15 a.m. And I wanted to get on this morning, but I think I was just overwhelmed from what I seen, because I'm just like seeing things on TV about it, on YouTube about it, and Tic Toc is significant. Weird as crap. I got in trouble on TikTok today. Go figure that. It's something stupid. I mean, it was my fault, and I'll get into that. I don't know if it's relevant or not. It might be, because they're trying to cause you trouble and shit, trying to make you, break your balance, that kind of thing. But I'm seeing these wispy feathers, and there was one long wispy feather and then another kind of wispy feather, and I'm like, huh. The sun's shining over the trees, kind of shining in the sky and making these clouds look cool. And I'm seeing these clouds, and I'm looking, I'm like, Spirit is with us. Spirit is with me. And about that time, and it's not strange to see planes or, occasional drone at night. I don't see them so much during the day. This wasn't a plane. This wasn't a drone. This was something unidentified. And like I said, if I'd had my camera or my phone, I would have recorded it. But like I said, some things are just meant for you and spirit to share. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, I see this. It looked like an egg. It looked like a Tic Tac. I don't know what it's got to do with Tic Toc, but do you not hear the confirmation going on outside my door right now? OMG. OMG. Anyway, I look, and the sun's getting ready to hit it and shine off of it, right? But this egg looking, I guess it was not so much an egg, but it was like a Tic Tac. It was just a round thing. No wings, no noise, no nothing. Come drifting, and it wasn't darting around and doing weird shit. It was just doing this. And it went through the feather. Didn't move the feather or nothing. Then the sun hit it, and it reflected like it was metal. All it was, it looked like a Tic Tac, and it was round. And I kid you not, I shit you not. Just, I'm like, what am I witnessing right now? After I seen the feathers, and I was thanking the Lord for, another good day, a beautiful morning, beautiful sunrise. And then I see this Tic Tac come shining, it gleaming in the sun. It hit the sun for a minute, and it went through the clouds a little bit. And the clouds wasn't that thick, so you see it traveling. It was just, and I'm like, I go, am I looking at a UFO? And I said that out loud, or what am I looking at? I'm looking at a couple birds flew by, and I'm just like, and a car come by with like a scratchy muffler, or it was dragging on there. I'm like, what is that? I'm like, what is that? And I watched it for a minute, and I'm like, thank you for letting me see that. And it went right through the feather. And Spirit is with you. I don't know if you're going through stuff or whatever. You're elevating. You're leveling up. But all you got to do is say something. The universe will talk to you. And I'm not being weird or far out or nothing. But just like Just like me talking on this video. How you hear the loud car. When you're talking about something that's relevant and you're on the right path, you'll hear car mufflers and different things that, hey, we know you're talking about stuff. Thank you for letting people know about these things. And that's all I'm on here to do. I think I'm on here to teach and to lift people up and to elevate people's energy levels. And they've been attacking a little bit today. I'm not wanting to say because I'm not wanting to glorify it. But I can tell it was something good. Something Spirit provided me this morning with this vision and seeing this Tic Tac spaceship flying around. It just flew across the sky. Sun hit it, gleamed off of it, kind of showed it was metal. No wings, no noise, no nothing. Just, and I've seen, and I've seen lights out here before, a few times in my life. And I would say to myself, man, the one time I did have my phone, and I'm like, should I record this? And a voice told me, no. We don't want, this is for you. And I hear this is for you. So some things are just meant for your eyes only. I know you want to, can't capture every moment. You're going to, but some things is just meant for you to enjoy with your eyes and Spirit showing you. But I thought that was the coolest thing to see this Tic Tac. And I was on Tic Toc this morning. And I was showing some cat things on the TV. And I had it on the TV too long. And you get in trouble for showing anything that's on TV because it's, it's not you, and TikTok don't like you showing things on TV because it's a copyright thing, that kind of thing. Anyway, it said, attention, you're, TikTok, blah, blah, and I ended up getting off. And it was just a cat video where the cats watch the birds and the squirrels and stuff eat. Just something very peaceful this morning. Birds were outside singing. They was singing on the TV. It was cool. I was only on there for maybe 5 minutes, but long enough for TikTok to flag a warning. Hey, you can't, show TVs in roundabout ways. I don't know how it was worded. Would you like to contest this? Well, no, I just got off. I'm like, okay, yeah, forgot. Can't show videos or TV on TikTok, that kind of thing. Invasion or something. I don't know. Invasion! Oh, God. Anyway, the TikTok got kicked off. Not kicked off, but warned on this morning. And then seeing the Tic Tac flying in the air, it was wild. It was so cool. Throat chakra. And then sitting down in front of people last night, it was just, you're being watched. You're being a light. I know you try to make jokes and be funny, and you don't have to do that. You don't have to be the center of attention. And a lot of times I would say off the wall shit just to have people laugh at me. And not like people, laughing and stuff, carrying on. Some things are just meant for you. And some things are meant for you to just shut up, and enjoy. Anyway, try to watch your words. Try to be a light to others always. And I know sometimes we fall short. Get back up and be better the next time. So, but the new people entering your life or entering your energy, you just do the best you can. Train them right. Show them that living good is a good way to be. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway. Miss Lady T, like, share, subscribe. Have a great day. Happy Tuesday. It's June 16th. And, guys, have a great day. Love ya. Have a good day. Bye.